Have you ever wondered what makes bodies tick? Are you creating the sexual reality you desire and require? Would you like to know more about what else is possible with bodies? What if your fantasies are not as strange as you thought they were? What if you could learn to be kinder to your body and kinder to others' bodies? Would you like to create confidence in the bedroom and beyond? How has your sex life or lack of it affected other areas of your life? Have you lost your mojo and wondered where to find it? Everyone has the potency to be a sexual superhero. Get ready to listen, sense, and play with the sexualness that is you. Now, here is the host of The Pleasure Zone, Body Whisperer, Milica Jelenic.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Pleasure Zone. I'm your host, Milica Jelenic, and I'm excited to have all you guys on listening tonight, now, and in the future. How cool is that? That there days all over the place for this great station and my show too. So how fun is that? For those of you who are brand spanking new, listen to this station, welcome. And for those of you who are brand spanking new listening to this show, welcome to the Pleasure Zone, where we talk about all things crazy, including bodies, sex, copulation, and all kinds of topics that are related to that. For those of you who are new and are wondering, like, who are you, lady, and why do you think you should be talking about these things? I've been working with bodies for a number of years, and one of the things that I found most curious when I was in university was to study all things sex-related. It's what got me through and got me my BA, was taking every class I could that was actually interesting to me. So that I could actually get a degree in something that was not sex-related. So how cool and funny is that? So one of the things that I do in my life and in my business is that I work with bodies. And I have trained for many years to do energy work, body work, like somatic body work, and working with people from my intuitive level, you could say, from my knowing and my experience and from tools I've had from different things that I've learned. And one of them is Access Consciousness, which has a fantastic set of tools to allow you to start to create the life you desire beyond anything that you imagined possible. So welcome to the show where we actually look at things beyond what we think is possible. Tonight's topic in particular is that jealousy rearing its ugly head? So it's a topic I haven't talked about on this program yet after, 100 and I think I'm at 110 or 117 or some amazing number of episodes. It's actually not a topic I have even thought of talking about until now. And it wasn't that jealousy reared its ugly head in my life. It's that I started to become aware of where I had it in the past, maybe, and also that it does exist. And, maybe with recent elections in the U.S., maybe watching Hillary Clinton be a little maybe jealous of Trump, or I'm not sure what it was, but there was something that triggered this topic. And really looking at, what is jealousy, and is it something that you can change within yourself, and can you change it with ease, or is it something that you think you're going to have to do many hours, days, and lifetimes of therapy to start to shift it and change it? So my question to all of you is, what is jealousy to you? Because jealousy is different to everybody. So, and people are jealous over different things, or not jealous at all. Like, I do know people who have no jealousy. And I know lots of people who have jealousy over everything. So one of the things to ask is so what is jealousy to me? Even if you aren't necessarily experiencing it right now, is to look at what does it mean to you, because you might, in your discovery of asking that question, you might start to find out that there may be areas that you actually are jealous, or that you have that energy. And if you desire changing it, then you can change it. It always is helpful that you can actually acknowledge something and then change it. When we're hiding things from ourselves, it's really tricky to be able to change it. So It's not impossible. It's just a lot easier when you acknowledge it. And I find jealousy is one of those things that comes up when we are hiding a lot from ourselves, whether we're hiding our own capacities from ourselves. Say, for example, you're on social media or something, and you might see people maybe they're like, look at me, I just had a class with 27 people in it, and you're like, oh man, I wish that was me. You might go there, or you might be like, wow. You might be in celebration with them and go, wow, that's fantastic. How does it get any better than that? I wonder what I could be, do, have, create, generate that would actually allow that to show up in my life. So they're very different energies. And of course, there are more energies than that available, but those are two of them. So the first one being, oh, I can't believe she got that. And what about me? And oh my God, and F this and F that. And you might go on a little rant. Jealousy. So if you are in that energy of jealousy over anything, you might want to start to play with, what are you refusing to be, do, have, create, generate, institute, that if you were to be, do, have, create, generate, or institute, would actually allow you to have that which they have, or different, and more, and actually have the life you desire. So whether it is the class with 27 people, or whether it's something different, it will give you that energy of what you desire. So, sometimes, not always, but sometimes we actually are in a place where we're not really willing to receive what we desire. Sometimes we're not even willing to look at what do we desire. So, starting with that, if jealousy is rearing its ugly head, you can say, wow, okay, do I actually desire what they have? Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. I remember as a teenager, I guess in my early 20s as well, I had a cousin, and, she came from the wealthy part of our family. She came from the millionaire uncle. She got to go to private school. She had friends around her. She really didn't have to pay for anything. And so I was jealous of her. I was jealous that she didn't have to, pay off her university. I was jealous of her having so many friends. I was jealous of her apartment. I was jealous of her money that she would possibly inherit in the future. The funny thing is that now that I'm creating the life I desire, I have zero jealousy towards her. And I also can see where she's not creating the life that she desires right now, even though she still has the friends, the potential to have the inheritance from her family. But I also can perceive beyond that. And I can also perceive that what I've created in my life brings me joy, and I get that I've been a part of it. And I don't know that she's aware of her creation. So I don't have a jealousy for her now. I have more like a willingness to contribute to her if she ever would like to be conscious. Wouldn't that be interesting if she's listening? Curious. Anyway, so there is like a thing now where like I don't whenever I get that sense, like even if it's for a second, and I might be like, oh, wow, I wish I had blah, 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 what that person's having. Now I catch it in the moment. I've been really good about this, actually. And I'm happy to admit when I'm not being good about something or not being on it. This is like something that I'm really good at being diligent with, is when I kind of get the ping of jealousy, to either to first acknowledge it in me, and then to start asking questions, or even to say to the person, wow, I just felt jealous about that for a second. Sometimes even just saying it out loud will just kind of make you go, oh, am I not cute or what? Like, what if I actually have the capacity to receive that, be that, or whatever it is? So catch it in the moment, and then start to look at it and go, so what is that? Like, what am I jealous of? You might see your friends, maybe they have like a beautiful home or something, and you're like, oh man, I wish I had that. And then ask yourself, truly, are you jealous of them and their life? Like, what is it really? Or is it that you feel excluded? Like, are you excluding you? Are you actually excluding you from the possibility that the universe is offering you that would look like that? And are you not allowing yourself to have that? Are you excluding yourself from the gifts the universe is offering you? Avoiding it, not looking at it, not acknowledging it. And other people are choosing the gifts the universe has to offer to them. So would you be willing to start to see the gifts that are around you, even if they're small? You want to, wherever you want to start with something and just start to acknowledge where it is that it's like, oh wow, the universe is gifting me. Oh wow, I'm not all alone. Wow, actually, it's not exclusion. What if I can include me in everything, in all creations, in my life as well? Because you know what? We'll even exclude ourselves from our own lives. We are that cute. So if you're willing to include you in your life, in your creations, and your money inflows, in all of it, in your relationships, like if you start to include you in all of it, would you even feel jealous ever? Maybe some of you would, maybe some of you wouldn't, and what else, right? So these things I'm talking about today, they can be relative to so many things, and this is the pleasure zone. So we know that, shows like Jerry Springer are they're born from jealousy. So if it wasn't for people's jealous reactions, we wouldn't have such drama. A lot of drama is sparked by jealousy, shame, that sort of thing. So if we weren't feeding the drama and creating jealousy by feeding the drama, what else could we create? Where could we put that energy instead? What if we could put it into our creation so that we can create the life we desire? We can have these things that we're looking at other people going, oh, I want such and such, like so-and-so has. Or instead of like sitting, dwelling, feeling pathetic and sad, would you be willing to go out and choose whatever it is that would create the life that you desire, that makes you feel like waking up in the morning? So if you find that you're like jealous of everything and everyone and anything in the universe, would you be willing to start looking at, am I actually creating the life I desire? Am I creating at all? Am I choosing? What is going on? You might start to notice that as you start choosing and as you start creating the life you desire, a lot of that jealousy and stuff will just fade because you start to get that you have choice. The universe has your back, and everything is conspiring to co-create with you. So if you think that nothing is conspiring to co-create with you, it's probably because you haven't included you. You may not have chosen anything. You just might be, if you're waiting for the universe to plop stuff on your head, the universe will contribute to you and take some steps toward it. The universe might have something for you on a field, and you're just like staring at it from 500 meters away, or whatever that is for Americans. And you might be staring at it, and you're just like, hey, universe, bring it to me. And the universe did bring it to you. The universe is like, take those 500 steps towards that, and it's yours. Like, you're only 500 meters away. Take a little jaunt to go find it, pick it up. It's right there in front of you. But oftentimes we expect it to literally land on our laps, and the universe is literally asking us to take a few steps so that we can create what we desire. So that is definitely one way to start shifting jealousy, is to start creating. Like, for example, I've had a few things come up in the last week that made me kind of go into maybe sad. Maybe there even was like a second of jealous, like, how come that person gets to do that and I don't get to do that? And then I was like, wow, okay, so after that second, I was kind of like, wow, A, who does that belong to? Is that even mine? And once I realized, okay, wait a minute, that isn't even mine. It's just something that we're maybe told in this reality, like you should have a reaction to this thing or whatever. Whatever it was, I do know that it shifted, and it put me into this space of desiring to create in a really big way. So it initiated a few things. It initiated a few projects. It initiated a few ideas, and it initiated some energy that seemed for me to have gone quiet or stale or something. It initiated it moving forward. So that was awesome. So, if you are kind of feeling like jealous, please look at, are you creating, and would you like to actually start to create? So we're going to head to break now, and when we come back, we're going to look at other aspects of jealousy, like how you can use it to your advantage, more ways to change it, and, even dealing with other people's jealousy. So we will look at all of that when we come back from break.
Many of us have created a lot of limitations around sex and what we are willing to choose. Would you be willing to explore what has already been introduced as sexual practices on this planet? What else is possible beyond what we have already seen, heard, or thought of? What if now is the time for a totally different sexual revolution? Taking the taboo out of all aspects of sex, sexuality, and copulation. By tuning into the Pleasure Zone radio show with body whisperer Milica Jelenic, you'll receive tools, inspiration, and a foundation to allow yourself to receive more in your sex life, and quite possibly other areas of your life as well. Listen for The Pleasure Zone with Milica every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on a2zen.fm.
What if there's nothing wrong with you? What if you're far greater than you've ever given yourself credit for? What if it's time to know the gift and the contribution you are to the world, and to like yourself a lot more? Hi, my name is Dane here. 13 years ago, I started to truly ask questions. Actually, I started to be the question, and everything changed for me. Asking questions opens doors to infinite possibilities. And it's not about finding the answer, it's about being the question. Always. What I'm inviting you to step into is something that Einstein, Marie Curie, Newton, Da Vinci, Gandhi, Picasso, and Aristotle all knew to be true. What if no question is too big or too small? What if anything is possible for you? What if together we could create a kinder, gentler, happier world? Is now the time? Go to beingyouclass.com and sign up for a free video series, My Gift to You. beingyouclass.com. What if you, truly being you, are the gift and change this world requires? beingyouclass.com.
This is the Pleasure Zone with body whisperer Milica Jelenic. To participate in the program today, please call us in the U.S. Call 815-880-8255-TALK or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at a2zen.fm. You can also make the choice to ask for comment by email by sending to Milica at milicajelenic.com. Now, back to the program.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pleasure Zone. I'm your host, Milica Jelenic, and tonight the topic is that jealousy rearing its ugly head? Chances are, if you've been alive on this planet in embodiment for more than 10 seconds, you've probably had the energy of jealousy coming at you or, going at somebody else. You can see it in the playground all the time. Why won't so-and-so, why doesn't so-and-so like me? And I want what so-and-so has. I want their toys. I want their clothes. Jealousy shows up, and it's an interesting thing. So for those of you who have been listening from the beginning of this show, you might have heard me say that I work with tools of Access Consciousness as well as a bunch of other stuff. And one of the tools in Access talks about jealousy being a distractor implant. Now, what is that? Essentially, a distractor implant is an energy that we have with us that we've adopted in a way, so that it stops us from being who we truly be. So jealousy is one of them. fear, rage, hate, blame, shame, obsessive, compulsive, perverted points of view. There's like over 20 of them. I won't list them all. I'll be doing shows on various ones and have done in the past as well. And jealousy is just one of those that I just started to choose to look at and talk about. So as a distractor implant, what it'll actually do, like when jealousy comes up in your life, what it'll do is it will distract you. So instead of you being you, you've now become this energy of, I want what they have, and oh, why can't I have it? And what you actually start doing is coming from lack, playing pathetic. You are definitely not acknowledging the greatness and awesomeness you truly be. When you're doing jealousy, doing it like it's something that you can do, when you're acting it out, you actually are not truly being you. You are completely distracting you from the infinite being you truly be. If you truly acknowledge that you're an infinite being, now, what is that? Everybody who's new listening, what is that? Some people you might hear refer to them talking about spirit, soul. So there are other energies that go with those. So infinite being literally is the being part of you that never dies. So infinite being. And a lot of us oftentimes play as if we play in this world, I guess you could say, as if we are finite. Like everything's limited. Like if so-and-so has that beautiful house, there's only one beautiful house on the planet, so I can't have that. So we're actually coming from finite thinking. We're coming from acting like we're finite, as if we can't have everything and anything. So jealousy is one of those things that definitely has an attitude of I'm finite attached to it. So now if you're being the infinite being you truly be, would you ever be jealous of anyone or anything? No, right? Awesome. I can hear your heads. So you probably wouldn't be jealous of anything or anyone if you're choosing to be more of you and if you're choosing to be the infinite being you truly be. So I'm wondering, are you willing to be that, be the infinite being you truly be, receive everything and everyone in the entire universe? So being that energy, are you willing to be bigger and bigger and bigger, let down your barriers, expand yourself out, be that energy, be that super massively big energy, be the embodiment of joy, be the embodiment of everything that's possible. So, even when you may have sadness, like truly like going, wow, okay, I'm going to cry for really cry it out for 5 minutes. Like not to ignore any of it, like allowing yourself to perceive all energies. And sometimes even in perceiving all energies, there can even be like a joy in crying. There can be a joy in allowing yourself to experience sadness. That's a whole other show. So for now, let's look at just the jealousy aspect of it. Is like why I mentioned the sadness is because a lot of people are actually jealous of other people's happiness. Whether they've just had children and they're like, but like people will get funny, like really funny about children being born, marriages, money, houses, adventures, like travel, and people will even be jealous of like your talents, skills, and capacities. For example, let's take an artist or something, like somebody's doing a painting and you're, let's say there's 3 artists in a row and they're all doing paintings. The chances are, unless these people have some kind of sense of self-worth, acknowledge that they're infinite beings, there's going to be little pangs of, oh, I wish I could do what they do going on. Whether it's like, wow, like they just did that. I wish I could do that. Instead of being kind of like yeah, I'll have what they're having. Hey, they just ordered a really good looking cake. I'll have that cake instead of going, oh, I really wish I could have that cake and playing pathetic. You're like, hey, they ordered cake, I'll have that cake. So if you're looking at, say, artists, for example, and you're seeing somebody who has something that's cool, instead of being like, either dissing it, going, yeah, bleh, that's gross and stupid, or that can also be like a bit of a jealousy when you don't acknowledge other people's talents and capacities and be like, well, they're not that great. Um, and the other thing is that, as you're looking at these three great artists, or artists doing their things, like the artists can go, hey, cool, like that thing that you just did, can you show me how you do that? I'll have what you're having. Like that energy of whatever you just created, I'd like to tap into that. You know, can you teach me? Can you show me? Like inviting yourself into the energy by asking questions like, can you show me? Or universe, can you contribute to me having that, showing me that? Um, if you're willing to tap into it, have it, be it, then chances are those little 1 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 minutes of jealousy will start to just leave like so fast. So, whether it's in your work, if you're looking at other people's talents and capacities, I actually had a friend of mine came for a session today, and he's going to listen to the show because he always listens to my show. And he was like, hey, I'm actually jealous of your talents and capacities. And I was like, hey, wow, that's really cool. Now, I mean, that's a different kind of conversation to have with somebody. Sometimes people will try and do the thing of, don't be jealous of me. But I was like, hey, cool, you're jealous of me. Hey, thanks for acknowledging it. Because anytime you acknowledge something for you, you can start to change it. And I'm grateful for that. And whether you choose to change it or not is another story. But it's cool that you acknowledge it and now you can change it. And then it's like, cool, thank you for being jealous of me, because part of it actually acknowledges the capacities I do have. Like, I wish I had the capacities you have. Cool, thank you. You obviously see something in me that I wasn't even seeing in me. So are you willing to receive people being jealous of you? Would you be willing to create a life that is so phenomenal, abundant, fun, expansive that people would be like, oh, I'm jealous of you? Are you willing to let people be jealous of you? And are you willing to be the invitation to them stepping into the greatness that they be by allowing them to be jealous of you, then being space to allow them to see where they are that, which you are? So the coolest thing when somebody is jealous of you, I find, is that, if they acknowledge it, and they acknowledge it in front of you even, is even cooler, is like, okay, cool, so you're jealous of me, awesome. You're jealous of my what? Talents and capacities? Cool. Are you aware that you have those? Are you aware that you be that? A lot of times, as soon as somebody will even for a millisecond start to acknowledge where they have that or where they be that, they can start to receive more and more and more and more of who they are. Their jealousy will start to go away. They'll start to utilize those talents and capacities more just out of the sheer desire. A lot of people don't actually like being jealous, but they don't know how to change it. So if you don't know how to change the jealousy and you're really tired of it, start creating all those things that you see other people having that you'd like to have. Start asking the universe for all of it. Start conspiring with the universe to have everything that you're, jealous of. So, if you think, oh wow, you have, you have a thriving business. I wish I had what you have, and you got to ask, like, am I willing to be endued, everything that it takes to have that thriving business? I've had people say to me, how come you have like clients that come to you and I can't get anybody coming to me? And I'm like, well, are you willing to have and everything that's required for people to show up. And a lot of people aren't willing to do that. What they see is your results, but they don't necessarily see everything that all the energy that you've actually contributed to creating that, all the creation energy behind your results. Like they don't actually see all the work, it's not necessarily work, but all of this stuff that you're actually doing behind the scenes. So I've had a few people like question me and go, I don't know how you have clients and I don't have clients and I've been doing this longer than you. I'm like, okay, so are you willing to be public? Are you willing to let people see you? Are you willing to talk to people? Are you willing to let people talk about you? Are you willing to let people hate you? So, one of the things with jealousy is I think one of the things that people are lacking is the willingness to let people hate them. So how does that play out with jealousy? Well, if you're willing to let people hate you, most people who are jealous of you don't really like you. They want what you have. They might want, it's usually things that you have or things that you're doing. They want that stuff. And they don't like the fact that you have it and they don't have it or think they don't have it. So there's usually like a bit of like a funny energy that goes in with that as well. So, by kind of playing with where can I have that? Where can I be that? Where can I, all those things that you're jealous of, chances are, the huge chances are, is that you either have all of that, you can have all of that and aren't choosing it, or you actually truly don't want it. You're just buying a lie that you think that's what you require to be happy. So we're going to, I'm calling into the radio show from my cell phone, so I'm not totally aware of time right now. We are going to go to break. So when we come back from break, more on the topic of jealousy.
Many of us have created a lot of limitations around sex and what we are willing to choose. Would you be willing to explore what has already been introduced as sexual practices on this planet? What else is possible beyond what we have already seen, heard, or thought of? What if now is the time for a totally different sexual revolution? Taking the taboo out of all aspects of sex, sexuality, and copulation. By tuning into the Pleasure Zone radio show with body whisperer Milica Jelenic, you'll receive tools, inspiration, and a foundation to allow yourself to receive more in your sex life, and quite possibly other areas of your life as well. Listen for The Pleasure Zone with Milica every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on a2zen.fm.
What would you say if I told you that you could change your life in only 1 hour and all while lying down relaxing? Thousands of people all over the world have. What am I talking about? It's called Access Consciousness, the bars. The bars is an energetic body process that contains 32 different points on your head that when run assist you in releasing decisions about any area of your life that you have made solid and as a result cannot change. The bars is the first class in Access Consciousness, a dynamic set of tools and information designed to transform any area of your life. When you have a bar session, the worst that can happen is you feel like you had a fantastic massage. The best thing that can happen is your whole life could change. Go to accessconsciousness.com today to find a facilitator to schedule a private session or to find a bars class in your area. Are you willing to give yourself an hour to change your life?
This is the Pleasure Zone with body whisperer Milica Jelenic. To participate in the program today, please call us in the U.S. Call 815-880-8255-TALK or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at a2zen.fm. You can also make the choice to ask for comment by email by sending to Milica at milicajelenic.com. Now, back to the program.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Pleasure Zone. I'm your host, Milica Jelenic, and tonight the topic is that jealousy rearing its ugly head. So I know, chances are some of you have felt jealous in this lifetime, had jealousy kind of thrust upon you as well. If you are a person who has ever smiled and been happy, maybe posted a picture on social media of you having fun, chances are you've had the energy of jealousy coming at you. Now, you're like, how do you know? Well, there are a lot of people on the planet who are not happy right now. And usually the people who aren't feeling so happy, some things are, they could be aware, really aware of all the unhappiness on the planet. That's one of them. So first ask, is that unhappiness mine? Is that energy, that feeling, that emotion, is that even mine? If you truly think that it is yours, that you truly think you're unhappy, then, and you're looking at other people's lives thinking, oh, I wish I had what they had. I wish I had their money. I wish I had their adventure. I wish I had their capacities. If you're having all of that going on, then, by looking at other people's stuff, and I think social media can really do a number on people by everybody's like posting their pictures of, mostly fun stuff, and people then, the energies of jealousy are flying around. Oh, I wish I had what they had. So to be willing to receive all of those energies coming at you. So if you don't want people to be jealous of you, don't create a life that is expansive, fun, and joyful, because when you do create a life that's expansive, fun, and joyful, you can do a few things. You can invite people into receiving way more of them by allowing them to see what you've created and, being the invitation for them to create more. And you can also create a lot of jealousy. There's other things that go on too. So you could create a lot of jealousy. Are you willing to allow people to be totally jealous of everything that you have, everything that you be? And how can you use that to your advantage? So energy is energy. Whether, you've got money coming at you or you've got jealousy coming at you, if you pull your barriers down, all the way down, like getting bare naked to the universe. So when you pull all of it down, all of it, including your underwear, being there naked with the universe, and then allowing the energies of jealousy to just come on in, invite them in. I'll receive it. I'll receive that. Cool. I'll receive where you're jealous of me. And thank you for acknowledging what I've created, because that jealousy coming at you is actually acknowledging everything that you have and have created. So there's like gratitude for it. Thanks. I'll have that. And allowing that energy in. So if you don't want to have people be jealous of you, if you really want to have people never be jealous of you, create a small life. Don't create it all. In fact, stop choosing. But if you're totally cool with people being jealous of you, outcreate everything you've ever created, outcreate everything anybody's ever created. And it's not about competition. Outcreating is not about a competition. It's about acknowledging where you can actually step into more of you and to create even more than you've ever created. So the willingness to outcreate jealousy, even to outcreate everything you've ever been jealous of. And then again, pull your barriers down, be willing to receive all the energies of jealousy, because they're just like money. And jealousy is actually a judgment. It's a judgment of the people themselves, thinking that they're less than, so they're judging themselves. And then they're judging you, in effect, saying that you're somehow have more, better than, worse than. Whatever it is, there is a judgment that's coming at you. So the willingness to receive all judgments with no point of view, and even an ounce of gratitude or so, thank you for your jealousy, allowing all that energy in, receiving it all, and then guess what's going to start to show up? More money, more joy. Like, it's funny because the universe doesn't give a flying tart what you've put walls up for. If you've put walls up for jealousy or people being jealous of you, the universe is going to be like, there's a wall, the money can't come, this can't come. jealousy is like a barrier to having all those things that you're actually jealous of. Do you get the irony in that? So if you pull down those walls, get bare naked with the universe, allow people to be jealous of you. If you're kind of like one of those super jealous people and you're like, I never want people to be jealous of me, and I don't even want to be jealous, but you're just entangled in a pile of mess, just pull down your barriers and start there. And then just start to see what you actually acknowledge. First, a few things. Acknowledge you for choosing to pull down your barriers and to start to receive, because that in itself can start to change your whole world. And then start to make a list of things for you that one of the things you can make a list of is, if you look around at everybody that you know, and just make a list of all the things that you actually know that you excel at. So is there a talent that you have that you know that when you look around, do you maybe have more skill in an area than maybe 10% of the people that you know, or even 90% of the people that you know? If you have a skill in an area that you have more skill in that area than maybe even just 10% of the people that you know have, guess what? You're already on your road to starting to uncover the greatness that you be. So, and the chances are that when you see that, you're going to also notice the people who have always wanted to have those talents that you have. So making the list of where you know that you actually, you might excel at something. You might excel at photography, you might excel at cutting hair, you might excel at body work, you might excel at financial stuff. There are different things you might excel at. And then if you just acknowledge it and go, wow, yeah, actually I am actually good at that. And you look around and you're like, do I have a talent in this that maybe if I look around, do 10% of the people I know not have that talent that I have? It's yeah, cool. Maybe 10% of the people I don't know don't do body work, that, maybe they don't have a talent and capacity for body work. Cool. Wow, there's something that I have that 10% of the people that I know don't have. So now would I be jealous of them? Or would I start to acknowledge more of who I am? So you actually start to acknowledge more of who you are. So look around and start to note where you have many things, where you maybe even have more money, or you generate more money than 10% or 50 or 100 or 90% of the people that you know. You might be bringing in more money. You might have creations. You might have things. You might have 2 cars or a car or 5 children or whatever. And you look around and you're like, wow, I have 1 child, but say, for example, you have 5 kids. You're like, wow, of all the people I know, I'm the only person with 5 kids. And so, wow, you've already got something that lots of other people don't have. So just starting to acknowledge where you actually have more than you think you have. So I'm not telling you to compare yourself to people. It's just where you can start to really see where you do have, whether it's capacities or things or talents, whatever it is. You'll start to get where you have stuff, so that you don't feel like you're in a lack universe, you don't feel like you're less than, where you can start to see, and you can start to not only see your capacities or whatever it is that you were jealous of. Not only can you see the greatness of you, you can start to grow it, you can expand it, you can have more of it. That jealousy stuff just goes away. So I know in relationships, jealousy comes up. How do I know that's happened? Because I've had it. So, relationships and jealousy, how do you deal with that? How do you deal with a jealous girlfriend? How do you deal with a jealous boyfriend? A lot of the same things as I was talking about before can apply. So in relationships, how do you deal with a jealous, let's say, jealous partner? So if your partner is super jealous of you, you can start to ask them questions, for one, like if they just are one of those people who are like constantly jealous of everything you're doing, or that you have or whatever, and they're trying to sabotage your creations because they're jealous of them. You know, you can get frank with them, have a conversation. Communication is one of the things I'm a fan of. You can actually say, like, are you jealous of me? Like, what is this? What are you creating with this anger towards me? With this, like, what is this that you're trying to create with this jealousy? Because a lot of times in relationships, people will bring in jealousy to stop your behavior. Stop flirting. I'm jealous of you flirting with other people. If flirting for you creates and generates money, if it brings in new clients, if it brings in business, if it creates sales, and somebody's trying to tell you to not do that, to not be a flirt, and they can also, sometimes they're trying to do jealousy as a way of controlling you. And so if they are trying to either control you, or if they're trying to somehow sabotage you, sabotage your life. So, jealousy can come up in relationships where somebody, say, for example, is trying to control you or sabotage you. No, you can't flirt with so-and-so, yet by flirting would actually create a business for you. And in not flirting, your business falls apart, and then you become reliant on them, and they're like, yay, I'm the most important person in your world. It's like huge unkindness, for one. And so what can you do to deal with that? First, check the energy and just be like, check it first and say, okay, is this jealousy or is this something else? Is it, like, what is this energy? And if you're willing to have the conversation with them, you can just ask them outright, like, is there something that are you jealous? Like, is there something going on here? So just ask them, and you can tell if somebody's lying. No, I'm not jealous of you. Really? Because it seems like you're acting a little jealous right now. So if they are, and if they're in denial, you can let them be in denial. You also don't have to stick around for it. So if the jealousy is starting to literally tear apart your life, and you're creating stuff, and it's just like taking up time and space and just not contributing to the creations that you have, you can ask them questions, maybe walk away, choose different. You always have choice. So jealousy can even become extreme to the point where jealousy can lead to murder even. It can lead to all kinds of things, acts of passion that lead to, deaths and shootings and all kinds of stuff. I mean, I've also had that in my family, not me personally, actually not technically my family, but in my godfather, I guess. Anyway, like, sometimes jealousy sparks something in a person where they just lose it, and they might, attack, they might become violent. So really having a tool to deal with it, like if, say, for example, you walk in on your lover sleeping with somebody else, you could be jealous, you could want to hurt them, or you could be like, is this relationship even working for me? Do I still want to choose this person? What can I have in my life that would bring me happiness? They obviously look happy right now. I get that would be a very funny conversation, because most people are going to go straight to wanting to, like, jump on the other person and strangle them. Most people are operating from that. However, if you get that you have total choice and you're an infinite being, you might not have that reaction. It's when it's finite and you think, I own you and you're my only one, and now you were somebody else. Now I have nothing and nobody. Yeah, you'll get mad because you think you have nothing and nobody. If you're coming from, hey, there's like lots of possibilities on the planet, cool, you just found somebody you want to be with, awesome. The chances are when you're coming from that energy anyway, you're not going to walk in on the person, so that you're not going to have that anger. You might be aware of it, choose not to walk in on it, and then you might just choose to not be in it, or whatever, or choose to be in it, whatever that is. But awareness can really contribute to not wanting to lunge at somebody and choke them and strangle them from being jealous, especially in relationship. So I'm just checking on all things called time. So I think we're going to end up skipping the last break because there's only a few minutes left. So for those of you who are looking forward to the special messages from Dane here and all my other friends on here, we're going to be skipping the our final messages because I think I have 5 minutes of stuff I can talk about. So how to deal with it in a relationship, and that's an extreme situation. You're walking in on a lover and you want to strangle them. You could be jealous of them flirting, and if it's a flirting thing, for example, let's look at that. So because I'm a chronic flirt, I've had many partners who have been very jealous of me and flirting with whoever and whenever, and it's led to fights, it's led to arguments, and I'm just like, let me be me. And they're like, you're hurting my feelings. And I'm like, but I'm with you, I'm just flirting. It's when somebody is feeling less than, the insecurities come up. They feel, again, this finiteness, the less than, the lack, all of that. Then they're going to be in a place where they, want to try and, control you. They're like, no, you can't flirt. That's not cool. I own you. And they don't. They never will. They never have. Maybe in lifetimes of slavery, but still that wasn't true. It was just weird. So if this jealousy is coming up in your relationships a lot, say with the person that you're with, and if they're jealous of everything you do, if you have a business that's thriving and maybe your partner doesn't, and they're jealous of you, it's if you're not willing to have a conversation about it, change it, acknowledge it, and if you're not willing to thank them and go, thank you so much for being jealous of me and my creations. Thank you so much for. That's essentially thank you for acknowledging that I am a super creator. And that can be a great gift when you're willing to have communication about it. If it's kind of a silent thing where it becomes a silent sabotage of your stuff, they don't say they're jealous of you, but instead, every time you require their assistance for something, they'll be sure to not be available so that your business can't move forward, then, that's a whole other ball game. Look at who is got your back and who doesn't have your back. So if somebody's jealous of you, they're not going to have your back. It's really that simple. When people are coming from a place of more of being the infinite being they truly be, they're willing to contribute to you and your creations and not be jealous of you and your creations, more like celebrating you and your creations. So look around you at the people around you who celebrate you and your creations. They're not going to be jealous of you. And the people who are jealous of you, invite the jealous energy to, get vulnerable, invite it in, it's just an energy, and just don't allow it to stop you from, and don't allow it to sabotage you because it's not in charge of you. So I am aware that we're coming to the close of the show, and just checking on my time here, 15 seconds. Thank you so much, guys, for listening this week, and super looking forward to having you on next week. Don't know what our topic will be. Good night for now.
Thank you for choosing to listen to The Pleasure Zone. Milica Jelenic will return next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on a2zen.fm. We hope you'll join us. Until then, have the best week of your life by choosing to be turned on and tuned in to your body.